Hello again. How are you? Oh my god. So, where was I? Now I'm all lethargic because I ate. But no time for rest. I have work to be done. Alright, so I left off on the clip. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Blue Aquarius gets a wonderful sticker in the mail. Let's see, I'm going to send her like these. I'm going to send one of these to our wonderful winner, Blue Aquarius. A sticker. On the hair. Oh, Tuesday morning. I love Tuesday morning. I need to get more of these things. I think I'm running out, which is good, because then that means I get to buy more. Alright, so now I wonder, is this camera like too close or something? What's going on with this thing? No, it's not the right dimensions. It might be just too far over. It always quiets down after my break, so that's okay. Oh, Ribbon Kitten, yes. I am coming back, I am back. Alright. Hello! Background kitty cat, yes! That is Kara. She's skulking around. Doing hair. Put it in like this. So it occurred to me that this camera might be a little too far over, so I'm going to move it just a little bit. I'm also going to set this aside so I can remember to send it out to Blue Aquarius, who won the giveaway earlier. Oh gosh, this means I have to get the dreaded step stool. I always fight using this thing. I don't know why. Like, I don't need to use no step stool. Sorry, okay, we're moving this a little bit. Just a little bit over this way. I think that might be better. Is that alright? That looks alright? Alright. So now we have more of a, yeah, like this. Okay, I'm looking over there. Yeah, okay, this is more of my work area right here. So that works out. We also just scooch this over like that, maybe. Okay. Okay, I think that's better. Well, I won't deal with this for now. Oh, hey! It's a little flashy ball. Is it dead? No, it still works. Okay. Go get it. They like the flashy ball. Anyway, here we go. I think that's mostly level. Hello, I'm back. Okay, time to work on stuff. I'm gonna put that away. What is this? This is extra, I think. Methinks that is extra. Really? My pedal here got all mixed around. Oh, good. I do have my walking foot on there. Right. So that is not the correct color. And I need to fix that. This requires pink. I have an appropriate pink color.
Fatality.
I thought I had an appropriate pink color. Could it be that I'm wrong? Okay. And I've got this. It's a little bit too bright. Is this embroidery or sewing? That's not the right shade. Ah! I think that's the same thing. I have two of them. Okay, good to know. You know, I used to have all of my thread located on the wall. I had a pegboard set up. It was wonderful. And then we moved into this apartment and I found out that I can't put the pegboard on the wall because it's an apartment and the way that their walls are made, there's like electrical and metal plating, and so it just made it impossible to hang pegboard. It's kind of sad. I'm kind of sad. I liked my pegboard organizing thing. Okay, so that's over there. What color? Nope, that's not right. Not the right color. What about this one? Better. I think I've got enough.
Fatality.
This is a Gutermann thread. Okay. Alright. I think I even have a bobbin already filled. Close enough, I think. Oh yeah, no, that's right. What in the world are you doing? Did you get in trouble? Like all running out here. All crazy like. Hope I have enough thread for this. This should be okay. Should. Nope. Eh. Really? Come on now. There we go. Threaded. Okay, so there's a few things that I need to do to prepare for the overall construction of ye old piece here. Of course, as usual, I have to clean off my chair because it is full of my cat's generous amount of fur. Really, guys? Just because we don't have fur like yours doesn't mean you need to give us yours. We're perfectly fine wearing coats. You don't need to give us your fur. Oh, how much time do I spend doing this? Seriously. Gross. Laura, I'm looking at you. You're the shedder. You did it. Oh yeah, does it sound interesting? Like, what's she doing? You know, a thought occurred to me. Sometimes it has trouble connecting to Twitch. I'm wondering right now if my signal is not going through. It's entirely possible. People are also just busy. Okay. Looking a little better. Phew! Is it though? It says I'm offline. What the heck? No, okay, we're good. Ah, I see Ribbon Kitten is in the chat. That's cool. She's local. And yes, I got your message. We can talk more about that after I'm done here. Shouldn't throw it away in there, but okay. Okay, so that's clean-ish, and let's get started. Whew. Ooh. Froofy petticoat is froofy. Alright, first things first. We're doing pockets. The first thing that has to happen is the pockets have to be attached to the skirt. Let's do... Oh, we'll probably want to do like same, so a centimeter here. So, am I prepared? Not really. Don't have my snips. Do I have my snips? Oh, I do have my snips. Hey, look at me. Hi, Ribbon. Hello. I'm happy to know that you have been thinking more about coming over. I'm doing a little tutorial streamy thingy, maybe. Yeah, we're doing the shiny side for the inside. Okay, good. Right. And then here, the other half of the back is here. See, oh yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. Ah! Ah! I hate that. I hate it when that happens. It unthreads because I am a dunce. I don't have enough tail when I pull up my needle like a dum-dum. Okay. Do. Those are the back sides. I am now starting to wonder if I need to change this needle. I think this needle might be a little too thick for the fabric. I mean, it's not tearing it. It's not really doing anything too detrimental, but I think I might benefit from a smaller needle size. And in that case, I'm going to have to change the needle. I need to do this. And I need to get that in my box. Alright, so, wow, that's all stuck together. I don't even know what happened here. I have no idea. I need this, and oh hey, my TARDIS. That's a 14. 9014. New. What's this one? An 18. No, that is too thick. I need very small. Let's see, what do I have on here? And do I just have to get a new needle? Is this a 90? Or is this a... That is 9014. 18. 9014. Leather. I have a 65.9, which is what I'm looking for. The smaller the number, the smaller the needle. And usually when you're working with finer fabrics, you need a finer needle. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to switch this out because I don't want my needle to make gigantic holes as I sew. And what is this? Yeah, it's a 90-14. So I'm going to change this back now to a 65-9. So 9 in Western or Imperial measurements. The metric, I think, is the 65 part. And I do recall that I think this needle is so small and the eye is so small that I don't think the threader works as well, but I'm going to try it anyway here just now. It seems to be okay. Yeah, okay. It does struggle a little bit more because the eye is small, but it worked okay. Alright, so now I have a 65/9 needle. And I'm going to sew the pockets on the front of the skirt. Now? Really? My father is hilarious. Hello? Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. I don't know who they are either. I am currently broadcasting, yes. I sure am. If you tuned in right now, you would see me talking to you on the phone. I bet it is, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's like about 8 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that. I'm amused that you're fascinated by this. If you would be on, it would be on my profile page, just on Facebook, yeah. Am I though? Okay, boomer. Yeah, that's me, yeah. So there's like 3-second delay. It's not too bad. It is, yeah. Here, I guess you get. So you're on now. You get to see it. There it is. Here's all my stuff. I just waved. Oh no. Okay, so that must have been. There is probably a bigger delay than I thought. Okay, do something wacky. Oh, you'll see it. Okay, yeah, so it's about 10-second delay then. So you'll see my wacky thing in a minute. No, the wacky thing was making a face. Okay. Well, it's a normal apartment. No, it's a 2-bedroom. This is the living room. So the entire front room is my studio. Oh, we have a roommate. No, we have a roommate. Yeah. Oh, they don't mind. They're pretty much all holed up in their bedroom most of the time too. So, and we have our computers over there. We call it our battle stations when we play games. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we're Well, that was adorable. Yeah, I was playing with my dad just now on the phone. He was amused that he could see me live on stream and talk to me on the phone, and we kind of tried puzzling out what kind of delay there was. So sorry about that. We were just having a little fun with the online streaming thing, so it's no worries. He's actually the one that taught me pretty much everything I know that has to do with cameras and editing and doing all that stuff. So he's always amused by that sort of thing. And the fact that I'm doing this is also very interesting to him. So that's what was happening, in case you were wondering. My video editor dad, who is now a dance teacher for two-stepping. So he's a riot. He's a hoot. He is an interesting personality, and I get a lot of my quirks because of him. I blame him! I blame his genes. Okay. Oh yeah, so we're sewing on pockets. It's so exciting. What is happening? Nothing? No, you're fine, okay. For a second I thought I had a bobbin vomit situation here going, but I'm okay. So everything is fine. So let me move this back down a little so you can see me while I'm working, kind of, maybe. I don't know if that's actually... How's that? Alright, we're good? I'm sitting and I'm okay? Alright. Oh, hey, 5 people! Neat! Hello, welcome back if you were here earlier. I had a sandwich. It was delicious. Took a moment to reassess, and now I'm working on the first part of my construction here. Just sewing on the pockets to the skirt. My client did not specifically ask for pockets, but I find that most people appreciate pockets regardless, so I am adding pockets now as just a matter of principle. So that's what that's for. Just be careful about privacy and such. Oh yeah, no personal information was shared. Just details that most people probably already know. So I am well aware of the dangers of sharing too much. Can't wait to see the final dress. It's been fun seeing the making so far. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I find that there are quite a few people who actually enjoy watching this sort of thing, and that makes me super happy. Yeah, so here is the beginnings of the pocket. And I like this because once it's put together, I think it's kind of magical, actually. The way we do this is we line up the pocket. This is the other side. Here is this side. So Put it here. So you see how I'm lining this up now. And I'm going to go ahead and sew. This is going to get overlocked as well, but for now I'm just sewing down here and a little bit in to where the pocket starts, and then all the way around the pocket to where the bottom of the pocket goes and down. Oh my gosh, it's that time again. Oh god. The sneezing. The sneezing is real. Why, it's a rainy day today. Well, it was earlier. Rainy and cold and kind of uncomfortable, but tolerable. Okay, back to this. So we're going to set up our needle. And remember what I said. Nobody really actually needs pins. You don't need to work up here and set everything up and then put it under your needle. Just put the beginning of your seam under your needle, put the needle down, adjust after the needle is down, so you don't have to futz with it. You just kind of take it slow and adjust as you go. Okay. Keep this curve. It is going to be a little stretchy, a little hard to deal with, but I gave it some seam allowance. I gave it a little extra room so that if it does move a little bit, it's not going to be too bad. Ow, that was my ankle. Alright, now really, you stay right there. There we go. We're good. Okay, our needle is down. Oh my god, get over there. Stop it. Stop it. Here, really? Well, that was to be expected. into the construction part of all this. Feels good. Alright, so let's see how this came out. So here is now a pocket. This needs to be pressed, of course, but looks not bad. Definitely needs to be pressed. And might need to go in here too because it's a little bit. Just release that corner a little bit. It might be better. Okay. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to probably just work with my limitations here. It's quiet. Too quiet. It's alright, I'm concentrating, so totally cool. It's totes cool. Just trying to get some things done. Should probably get my nice scissors out. Like my gingers. Like a Sue. So, if you guys are watching, oh, I just lost a couple. I was gonna say, what other crafts would you like to see? I do so many, just so many. So many different crafts, it's kind of a problem. I was thinking about doing jewelry. Oh no, wait, what I was thinking about doing recently too is doing some fashion illustration, and it would probably be like a review sort of thing, like let's see how much Carol actually remembers on fashion illustration, because I'm gonna have to get back into that fairly soon. Alright, that looks pretty good. Yeah, it just looks a little funky because it needs some pressing, but yeah, that looks pretty good. So we got the skirt. Yay. Then we have to do the lining. Skirt lining, skirt lining, skirt lining. Just doing these big things, getting them out of the way so that once I get to them, they'll all be ready for being put together. And this is gonna get overlocked anyway. Don't lose the thread. Don't do it. Pretty good. Alright, so that is the lining skirt. This is the shell. Now, I gotta get into the meat of this. So we have the prepared bodice liner. And I put basically seam binding all on the edges because I don't want this to fall apart on the inside with stress. This is the facing. It attaches to, well, this way. Like that. And like that. So, the darts need to be done. I need to do the collar. Here's the front facing. The sleeves, which don't have any seam binding on it, and I'm going to have to reconsider that probably. The belt in the purple. Alright, well here's this. The shell bodice, and I marked on the inside the places that need to have the dart inserted. So we're going to do this. Let's see, where is that other end? Right here. So one of the things I learned on how to do a super correct dart is by drawing the dart in like this, and then what you would do is try to match it to the line on the other side, and if it falls on the right line, that's pretty good actually, then you've got the right angle. Good. So far, so good. Okay, there's one. That's the front. Here's the other back. And these marks come off with water, so I'm not too worried about any staining. They're pretty good about washing right out. And if this is not the case, then I have an entire other order of fabric that I can remake this dress out of. This is not right. That's better. Better. Okay, there's the other one. So many darts. other side. I think that's enough. Okay, that's enough pinning. I'm so done. I'm so over that. Just want this finished. Why am I tripping on that? Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open that window. It is so warm in here. We have not had the heater on, but apparently our neighbors have. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. We need air. Air. Okay. I think I'm not gonna die now. So, question. I know it says things are happening. Any other sewing story? Oh, there it is. It is showing up. I was just, was worried about that for a second. Any other sewing stories? Sorry, I'm looking at my Pinterest sewing stuff. That is totally fine. I understand getting sucked into Pinterest and sewing stuff. I have done that. I go into phases. You know, I get obsessive about things for like a week or two, and then I move on to the next obsessive thing. It's really weird. I don't know if I can think of any specific sewing stories without a prompt. It's usually like what'll happen is we'll start talking about a thing, and that reminds me of X. You know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I think I mentioned the time when I tried making something without a pattern when I was 11, not knowing any better. I don't know if I actually talked about that story. I was always interested in sewing though. And I always begged my mom, please teach me how to sew, and she never did until I was 18 and wanted to make myself a costume for Ren Fair. But she was always pretty good at it. I was always fascinated by it. Really? Kara, no. Stop it. No, come back. Oh, good, it didn't fall. Right. Yeah, trying to make anything without a pattern and not having any basic knowledge of how sewing works is hilarious, to say the least. But at least there was effort. An effort was made. fascinated by the window, aren't you? That's adorable. That is so funny. My cats are hilarious. Another kitty! Sure, I mean, I can tell you that story. My mom had been making my clothes since I could remember, and she made me cute little dresses and my costumes for Halloween. There was one Halloween I was very disappointed that I didn't get to participate, but that's another story entirely. But I always watched her doing this. I watched her making things with a sewing machine, and I was just fascinated that you could do this, like creating something out of flat fabric. So eventually I tried taking matters into my own hands because Mom wouldn't teach me herself. She taught me all kinds of other things, like she taught me how to crochet when I was 9, and she taught me a little bit of knitting. I think my first foray into knitting was when I was 3. I kind of had the idea, but I didn't really understand the counting part of it. In any case, I was always fascinated by the sewing thing. So eventually I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself. And so I thought, I found some fabric. I asked, hey Mom, can I have this fabric? Do you need this for anything? It was like liner. It was lining fabric. I didn't know how to use a sewing machine, so I wasn't going to try. I attempted to cut a basic shape of a vest out of lining fabric. No pattern, just like drawing kind of on the fabric itself with like a marker probably, and like just figuring out where shoulders would be. There's a neckline here and the front has to be open, right? So, and I do a running stitch all the way on the sides and on the shoulders. And it's like the weirdest attempt ever, having no basic knowledge of how it actually works. So, yeah, I think that was the time that I realized that things were turned inside out once it was finished being sewn. So that was like a big aha moment for me. Where I'm like, oh, so that's how clothes work. A seam is inside out and you're sewing on the inside of it. Like some like big revelation. Okay, I'm almost done with these darts. So that's Kal-El. I named my cats after Supergirl and Superman. And he's just a goofball, really. Yeah, I was. By the time I was 18, though, and I just really wanted to be able to participate in the Renaissance Fair by dressing up, my mom, I don't know what it was, but she finally said, okay, let's pick out a pattern, we'll pick out your fabric, and I'm going to walk you through how to do it. And so that was all the basics. I just went through, we cut out the pattern, found out the size, figured out what we needed for the costume. It's not even a historically accurate costume, to be honest, but we did it and picked everything out. She made me cut everything out. That was my job as the apprentice, is to do all the hard work. But you know, you get used to it that way and you have an idea then of what it takes to make something from scratch. So she made me do the hard stuff, which is the cutting of the fabric and the pattern itself. And I was determined. I was into it. I was like all about it. There was no swaying me from being able to learn how to make my own clothes or costumes. I was more interested in actually making costumes than I was in clothing, like fashion. So then when I discovered Lolita, I was just all about it. I'm like, it's fashion, but it's also kind of like costumes because it's not like fashion. I like this. This is definitely for me. Yeah, originally I went to fashion design school because I wanted to do the advanced program of costumes for film and television. I didn't even graduate, actually, at that time. I eventually did continue my education and did a lot of self-learning, so there's that. Knocking over all the things, yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Super cats. They are super cats. They're my super cats. They're silly, but they're super. So, anyway, yeah, I did that Renaissance costume, and then I somehow, through some determination, arranged for my madrigal group in high school at the time to perform at the Ren Fair. So it wasn't just me going to Ren Fair. I had the great idea of let's all perform there. We're singing madrigals. We're singing music of that era, and managed to talk to like coordinators and coordinated with them to have our group appear. We were just a high school madrigal group, but we were pretty good. I want to say we were pretty good, and so they allowed us to perform, and that's what we did. So then the answer was I needed to make 4 more costumes for the ladies that matched mine so that all of us could go together. So after learning how to make my costume, I was then just jet set determined to go on and do 4 more of the same costume in different colors and different styles, but basically using the same pattern. It was great. And I did it, and I loved it. I spent hours working in my bedroom with like a little foldy table, just sewing away on my mother's old Singer. Oh no, this needs to be pressed on better. Why'd this happen? Yeah, this needs some help, and also it probably needs to be pressed so that I can do that dart better. Oh my gosh. Why? Stop it. Wake up. One of your furry helpers to sit on it for a while. I should, huh? Okay, this looks alright. It's just this one I think is coming out a little bit. No, not there, but this one. Yeah. I really need to go and get some more iron off. I need to clean this thing. So I'm using parchment paper here so that my interfacing doesn't stick to my iron. It's basically the same thing that you do when you're using perler beads. Welcome! Glad you could make it back. Let's see, we're gonna do... Yeah, we're pressing the dart to the center so that the seam is facing towards the side seam. And I'm going to use this to iron over. This is the back. I don't think there's any other lifting areas here. Most of this has been fused on pretty well. So, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. The seam is going to be facing towards the side, which means the dart is folded toward the center. This is the center back. What did I miss? A story from Carol and some cat jokes for me. Yeah, I've just been regaling Ribbon Kitten with stories of my youth. My silly, naive youth. So here, I need to make a decision now. I think I want the same thing. I'd like this to be facing the side. Sad I missed. Oh, it might not be something that you've heard before, but it might very well be. I tend to repeat myself, so it's entirely likely. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I have my darts going toward the middle so that the seams are facing toward the sides. So this. Don't know if I'll need to iron this anymore for now. I will put it away. How is everyone? Everyone is good. I was a little bit lethargic after my lunch, but other than that, just fine. My dad decided to call while I was on stream, and he was very amused about the idea of streaming live on the internet and talking to me on the phone at the same time. So we had a little bit of fun with that, even though everybody else probably didn't understand it. I figured it was pretty quiet, like there weren't a lot of people on, so it was okay to play around. My dad is an inquisitive type. He's also the one that taught me everything about video editing. So he's interested in that sort of thing most of the time. So that happened. Let's see. I think you can rewatch streams on YouTube. Yes, you can. You can also rewatch them on Twitch. I don't remember if they stay longer on YouTube than they do on Twitch. But yes, this is something that can happen. Alright, I'm just going to start sewing the sides and the shoulders and then start working on the lining. Just watching the stream and going through my Pinterest trying to figure out how to start learning to sew for real this time. Oh, you haven't done it yet? You haven't tried yet? Well then, we'll just have to have you over soon. We'll get you started. I just had a student, a lady, she's actually my boyfriend's barber. And she's the sweetest thing. She is so nice. And she had wanted to learn to sew for the longest time. She's just a little bit younger than I am. And her dad gave her a sewing machine for her birthday. I think it was last year, something like that. Oh, it's been in the closet for a long time. She's been afraid of it since she got it. She got the sewing machine. It's a beautiful little sewing machine, especially for a beginner. Perfect for what she needs, and she never took it out of the box. So she finally, she was talking to my boyfriend while he was getting his hair cut, and mentioned to her that I do classes. So she jumped on that right away, and we had a little 5-hour class session. I do a special bundle. It's like $100 for 5 hours of one-on-one instruction. And we just got that thing out of the box, got her learning the basics, learning to use it, just sew a straight line. That's all you need to start to do. And she did it, and then with the bundled class, basically I do the same thing that my mother did when she taught me how to sew. Is we pick a pattern, something simple, especially if you're not too sure about sewing, and we just walk through it. We'll just cut it out. I'll show you how to read the chart. This is what the fabric that you need. Get these scissors, get this fabric, interfacing if you need it, and then I'll just walk you through how to do it. So that's what we did. And she made herself a shopping bag, fully lined and everything with curves. Did I do something crazy? No. Okay, everything's fine. Oh my god, I thought I did something totally nuts for a second, and I was not paying attention. You're a beginner too? Oh, hello! Omni Prime! Speaking of boyfriends, hello! I'm a beginner in that story, and the timing is eerily close to mine! Nice, what are you wanting to sew? Clothes, Lolita fashion, and magical girl cosplay. Girl, I got you. And boy, so lucky that you're local. I got all the patterns. Like legit patterns, seriously. Oh yeah, Cal? Is outside interesting? Omni, are you still there? Are you watching? Or are you just giving me a view? Are you lurking? Feels bad, man. Something's wrong here. No, maybe not. Maybe everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Where's my notch? Did I even notch it? Oh, I did. That looks right. Listening is accurate. Lurking mode time. I'd love to do historical dresses and Lolita dresses. I also want to combine the two and see what I can make. I have thought of doing the same thing. I have Victorian like fashion plate books, and I've wanted to just flip through for inspiration and see what I could come up with as a Lolita silhouette design. So most of the things that I like are the blouses, the pin tucks, and other elements, like different placements for ruffles, and then just incorporating it to a shorter skirt that's something like 20 inches long. I like 20-inch long skirts. Okay, here is the top. We got the beginnings of a dress. Neat. Kitty and window. According to my schedule, it's time to silently judge people. Yes, I believe that is accurate. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, this is gonna have to be sewn with a purple. I already did the skirt, which needs to be pressed. I don't expect that this is going to take very long. There's not very much as far as frill on this dress. There's going to be gathering. This needs to be sewn with a purple. When I'm ready for that. And then, of course, there are more of these guys. Yeah, and I definitely need to be careful with the way the satin moves. Oy vey, Ishmir. I'm not even Yiddish. Reacto. Oh. The darts, though. Can I do this? Times like these, I really just want to drop everything and play Final Fantasy. But I can't, because this is my job. I need to do my job if I want to get more jobs like this to be able to pay my rent. It's kind of important. Adulting is hard. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're doing it. We're gonna do this now. Pull that out. know someone who loves Final Fantasy who would high five you in agreement for that statement. Yes, I splurged a little bit. I did not get any of the expansions. I thought about it. But I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV online since it came out, since the very first inception of it, before it became a Realm Reborn, and it was okay. It was very pretty, but very boring. I don't know how familiar you are with that whole debacle, but that's how long ago I started playing it, and then it went away, and I was very sad, and then didn't hear anything about it until later, when it came to my attention that it was now called a Realm Reborn and that the entire design team was replaced, and so there's like all this redesign that happened. Anyway, that was many years ago. So since then, I have only been mildly like participating in the game because I don't want to spend, I don't know, $40 for the expansion or $15 for just 1 month subscription. So I opt for the $13 entry subscription, which limits you to 1 character per server, which is fine. I don't really need more than 1 character per server, so I was fine with that. And then I found out that my D&D friends also play Final Fantasy, and then I got my roommate into Final Fantasy. So I'm like, well, shit. Now I have to consider maybe getting the expansion because they have the expansions. And at the same time, I'm like, but I need to work. Like, I need to do this. This is the thing I chose to do for money so that I can survive. This needs to be done. As much as I love Final Fantasy, and I do end up playing in the evening, sometimes you'll see my little status on Discord saying play Final Fantasy XIV. Sometimes I can't just do that though. While I was recovering from my filling yesterday, I went ahead and splurged and played lots of Final Fantasy all day long. But then today happened, and it was time to get back to work. It was time to do the thing that I was paid to do. I may not be able to type for a bit. The cat requires pets, and cat's word is final. Yes, I understand. Take your time. Take your time. Did you see that meme of some guy calling his boss saying, I can't come into work today? Why the heck not? Well, I have this cat in my lap right now. And he's like, is it soft? Oh, so soft. Is it fluffy? So fluffy. Take all the time you need. Cal? You have to go exploring right now? Because the window's open. There is the back pieces for lining. Kal-El! You're crazy! Yes, the cat is the real boss, but they they good rulers most of the time sometimes, and adulting is hard, but can be worth it sometimes. Agreed. Adulting does have certain benefits. For instance, I'm able to go out in public and drink alcohol. Well, not in public, but, you know, and be served alcohol. Or, most of the time, I don't have a curfew. So if I want to stay out all night long, that's my prerogative. On the other hand, bills suck. And the rent here is actually not too bad, so that's pretty good. It still is a thing and has to happen. But you know, that is life, and working for your living is just a fact of life. And honestly, I don't think I would choose anything else to do for a living. This is exactly what I think I was meant to do. I make pretty dresses. And one day, I would like to make many pretty dresses and have them for sale on my store envy. I really need to go through that and set that up again. There were a whole bunch of other things that I would sell on my store envy that I would vet as a product and make sure that what I was selling was quality. It was one thing I loved to do, is I loved finding new products that went with the motif and offering that up for sale because I could buy it in bulk. I would go through the research to find the sources and get really neat things. There was a product that I used to sell, and unfortunately I cannot find an equivalent of it anymore. They stopped making it, or I just lost sources for it. I loved wearing long white tights with my Lolita. I never looked good in knee highs or thigh highs or anything like that. I never thought it looked good on me, and so I would opt for like pantyhose, like lace pantyhose or just white pantyhose, straight like what I'm wearing actually today. Is I have like, I don't know how many pairs of white pantyhose, and one of the things that I would look for is really high quality white pantyhose, like Alice in Wonderland white hose. So I found this amazing 200D, that's denier, or denier, depending on your pronunciation of the French. The 200D, which is super, super thick, meant for like winter. It's not fleece lined, but it was just really, really thick, and it kind of compressed everything and held everything up in place, you know? When you had a few little rolls that you didn't really like too much, you could tuck that all in, and they were super stretchy and super comfy and super bright white, opaque pantyhose in white. And then I sold bunches of those, and I made sure that I sent them to friends to make sure that, hey, is this actually any good? Can I send you a pair, and would you tell me if you like these? And so I sent it to like 3 or 5 different people, and I had them try them themselves so that they could write a review for me, and all of them loved it. And I posted it on my store envy store, and I sold almost all of them. I even had like a slightly lesser thick version that I marketed as a spring version of opaque white tights, and I cannot find any source for those tights anymore. I feel terrible because like my tights have gotten holes in them and have gotten dirty. I've had them for years now, and I keep repairing the holes by just sewing it together, and I can't find them anymore. Super sad. And I would sell things like eyelashes. I would sell BB cream, and I would use it myself to make sure, oh yeah, this is really good. I'm going to buy a bunch of this and sell it to my friends. You know, just kind of like as a hobby, I like to go shopping for unique, interesting items and makeup and stuff like that, and selling it. So pretty much if you ever see me at a convention, that is all I sell, is I find things I like, and if I like it enough, I'll buy like 10 of them, and then I'll have them for sale on my table. which is why I have things like those feather pens. I'm like, oh, those are so cute. I'll buy 12 and I'll sell them for like a certain amount, but I'll keep one for myself and I'll give one to my friends. Okay, so here I'm going to add, I need to, so this needs to go like this. This is the crazy part right here. I think I have the center marked, actually. Right here and right here. Basically this line right here. So having to sew into this curve is going to be a challenge. One thing that I've learned to do is just start in the middle, go one way, and then do the other side. It's one way I learned how to do it. So you don't have to start at one end and start it and then end at the other. You can just find the center so that you know you're going to hit the center, which in this case, be careful. This way. Would you ever accept and stream a cosplay commission? It depends on the cosplay. I am not well versed in things like armor construction. My friend, on the other hand, she's actually my best friend. She used to own the Just Cause cosplay shop, and I worked with her for a little while. And I did mostly the sewing portion. She was also into sewing, but she was fantastic at armor construction and prop construction. I never learned how to do that. My focus was mostly on fine sewing and fashion design style of sewing. So if there was a cosplay that required sewing like that, then I would do it. If there was something else that required armor, that was outside of my wheelhouse, unfortunately. But it would depend. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. She's my best friend. Yeah, we had to close the shop last year. It was kind of nuts, kind of crazy. Reasons why. But, you know, things happen. Okay, I think just for the sake of my own sanity, I am going to be pinning this together. have to find a better way of doing this. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I try to do this. Have you heard of the K-Labs? Like, I assume Albuquerque K-Labs marketplace makerspace. They have a sewing program. Do they now? I have been looking for maker spaces and things of that ilk. Not very hard, obviously, because I'm still here and I'm teaching in Santa Fe. But I am always interested in teaching or, you know, doing anything like that in any other places. I've taken up a few ideas for sewing at Joann's. I'm not crazy about going hardline on plugging their brand and making sure that all the students know to use the things that Joann's has available. I'm not like, I mean, I understand that while I'm there I have to do that, but it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So maker spaces and having more freedom to share knowledge is definitely of interest to me. That sounds very interesting. So that's cool. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see if we can find a better solution here. I think pretty soon here I'm going to have to sign off. Kind of want to see how well I can get this portion of the facing situated into the lining here. This is already, yeah. Maybe. Might be able to do it. Just kind of open this up. Okay. K-Lab. I feel like I've heard of this place. Ah, they have laser cutters and 3D printing lab and a hot area for welding, which is awesome. Wood shop, machine shop. I don't see sewing listed, but that's okay. That doesn't mean much. Interesting. Interesting, yes. I am curious to investigate this further. Alright, I'm going to attempt to apply this here facing to the lining. As you can see, it's kind of nuts because you're doing opposite curves into each other. You'll see how it makes sense after a minute. But let me see, where is this situated? I feel like this camera should be like closer to the edge. You know what? I just realized something. Ah, that's funny. I figured a thing out. Oh God. I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes, but there we go. Sorry. We're gonna do this now. We're gonna put this in. I think I'm just tired. That might be part of my problem. Okay, so here, I think I do still have like a 1 centimeter wide seam allowance, so I'm just gonna have to work with that. Where's my pedal? There's my pedal. I'm gonna have to stretch the bottom fabric that has the curvature in it. Let's see if I can fit this into it. Just very carefully, kind of bit by bit. also, I think I just realized that my cats must be starving because, you know, they've never seen food before, and it's like that every day. It's like food is a completely new concept every time. They beg for it, like little trash pandas. Okay. Ah, I did this thing. Of course, it's gonna have to get snipped. Trash panda cats, yeah. They have an industrial sewing machine and a sewing room there. I took a tour. It was super amazing, all the stuff they have there. Cool! I really need to use my industrial machines. Right there. Right there. It looks so lonely. I can't really use it right now with satin because satin. Okay, that looks pretty good actually. Check that out, guys. That's a facing and the lining. Pretty nice, actually. I think I like facing kind of floating above the lining. Wow, that color, that's totally unintentional. This color is almost perfect to this background. Neat! That is a perfect set into the neckline. Okay. Yeah, so it's time. I think it's time. It's like almost 5:30, so we'll see you probably tomorrow. And Ribbon Kitten, we can talk more about that idea that we had of maybe doing something together here. In any case, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you learned something and you had a little fun with me, and keep enjoying your Pinterest, Ribbon Kitten. I would love to see actually what you have on your Pinterest, so if you want to find me as Miss Carol Belle, you can totally do that. In any case, I will pack up here now and see you tomorrow. This time for real, promise.